I'm obsessed with making homemade pasta and pretty much make it once a week, so I'm going to show you exactly how I make it because it's really such a fun process and is super easy to make. I always start off with 2.5 cups of 00 flour and 4 whole room temperature eggs. I crack the eggs into the well of the flour, and then I start mixing everything together with a fork before I go in with my hands to knead the mixture together until everything is incorporated. Once it's incorporated, I press my thumb in to make sure the dough bounces back, and then I refrigerate it covered with some plastic wrap for about 30 minutes while I make my ravioli filling with ricotta, Parmesan Reggiano, salt, and pepper. I use my KitchenAid and my pasta attachment to thin out the pasta dough, always making sure to fold the dough over a few times on itself before I really start thinning it out. And then once the dough is nice and thin, I get out my ravioli maker, dust it with some flour, lay one of the pasta sheets down, then start adding the ravioli filling, using some water in between each of the ravioli before I lay the pasta sheet on top. I press everything down and then I flip it over onto a wood board. The wood board is super helpful to make sure the ravioli doesn't stick. And then I use a ruffled edge pasta cutter to cut out the ravioli. I start boiling some water, and then I always like to add some prosciutto to a lined baking sheet to get that nice and crispy. I start browning the butter and then add in the sage, cook the ravioli, and then add the ravioli to the sauce. Mix everything together, and here is the final product.